Hi, my name is Peter Brown, executive recruiter and founding partner of Apigo. I want to share some brief thoughts on how stability can affect your hireability. Let me first speak to those who may be in the earlier stages of their careers. Let's call that the first 5 to 10 years or so. It can take some time for people to figure out what they like, what they're good at, and what path they want to take. And so it's not uncommon for folks to make some quick moves early in their career. As time goes on, however, focus and tenure in the areas you want to grow become more important. I can't say with certainty how much tenure someone should have in each job or at each company, as the norms may be different for various industries and fields. Some roles require more dependable consistency, while others may be more project-based or objective-driven. You have to know the difference between them and be sure that your resume speaks to the objectives you were hired for and what you accomplished, especially if you stay in a role for less than 2 years. Someone might have legitimate reasons for making short-term job changes, but understanding how it's viewed in the eyes of those looking at your profile or resume should not be ignored. Some research suggests that if a person has 1 or 2 short-term jobs, it's not necessarily an indication that this pattern will continue. But at 3 consecutive short-term job changes, statistics increase substantially. And by 4, it's almost 100% sure that person will do it again. Hiring managers and company executives are careful about risking their investment of time and money in hiring someone who has a pattern of making job changes every 2 years or less. I can share from experience that many hiring executives feel that it takes about 6 to 12 months for someone to be efficient at the basics of their job. And not until years 2 and 3 are they starting to contribute and really add value. These hiring executives often express concern that consistent short-term tenure shows a lack of commitment and perseverance when the going gets tough, or that the person isn't capable of performing. Even if the reasons for leaving previous employment are related to company culture or financial issues, hiring managers often assume the problem follows the person and not the other way around. I'm not saying this is a fair judgment. I'm simply telling you what we frequently hear. Hiring leaders also feel people lack experience with the deep thinking that's required to implement any kind of process improvement or long-term planning or strategy when there's no significant tenure in their background. They can also question if a person knows how to build trust and relationships with peers and leaders, and they don't often promote folks who don't earn it through longer-term commitment. What if your work history is unstable? Is there anything you can do to mitigate this? Well, first, spend more time evaluating what you really want in a career. Prepare better for interviews and dedicate regular and consistent time to learning in that path. The best time to look for a job is when you already have one. You can make a more objective decision when you're not under the pressure and stress of needing to find a new job. During our interview process here at Apigo, we have all of our candidates rank the top 6 categories that people say they evaluate when making a career decision, and then elaborate on those categories. These categories are challenge, location flexibility, career path, money, culture, and security. Once you understand why those are important to you, then you can formulate some interview questions to help you evaluate what kind of career situation and company you want to be part of. Do research on companies. Ask for insight from people you know who have worked at these companies or in these career paths. Invest time in educating yourself and learning the tools associated with your path of interest. Don't let yourself get stagnant. These are the most important investments to avoid an unstable work history. Some people also give off a sense of instability unknowingly. There are a couple of little things you can do to help mitigate this appearance. If you work for a company that has been acquired, show it as one position on your resume or profile. Simply put both company names, showing one as the primary and the other as the acquired. You can also give a short one-line description of the reason for your change on your resume or profile. Be careful about how things look or sound. For example, if you simply state position eliminated, it could sound like your position was eliminated for your performance issues. It's better to say something like, position eliminated due to a 10% company-wide reduction due to a major contract loss, assuming that's true, of course. The point is, give a little more context, thinking like a hiring executive who might be looking at your explanation. So an obvious follow-up question is about salary. Many people believe their salary won't keep up with the market unless they leave their company and find something new. There is some data that supports this concern. However, there's a balance, and at some point, leaving to get more money is going to backfire. Hiring executives often express to us their surprise at how much money people want to make in their first 3 to 10 years of experience. Some people are probably worth it. However, taking that next role simply for a pay increase has lifted people into roles where they can't perform at the level they're being paid, and companies discover this and find someone else who can. And if you ever find yourself without a job and have a history of frequent job changes, you may be in for a difficult search. Now, let me say something to those who are more experienced in their careers, let's say 10 to 15 years and beyond. Tenure still matters, but there's a new factor to think about. If someone stays with a company for a long time, that can also be seen as a negative. Hiring executives use words like institutionalized, in the sense that you only know that company's way of doing things. Another thing that can be seen as a negative is staying in the same position for too long. Once someone's tenure reaches about 6 to 8 years, with no progression or change of function, hiring leaders start to question if someone is getting stale or unmotivated or stuck in their ways. However, it's not seen as a negative if someone has been promoted or taken new responsibilities and gained new skills in that 6 to 8 year window. Some questions you might ask yourself as your tenure increases. Am I feeling challenged? Am I developing new skills or gaining new responsibilities? Is my boss talking to me about future growth during reviews? If the answer is no year after year, it may be time to think about the next step. It's not bad to be good at something that you can do with ease or minimal stress, but are you prepared to get stuck doing that thing? Eventually, it can be difficult to break free of it. I do thank you for your time. I hope this was helpful.